The birth of a child brings joy to every family. Although that of Lori wasn't any different. The situation surrounding theirs got a little too mysterious and complicated as well. From their dog's obsession with Lori's baby bumped to the cup's involvement during one of their checkups. How did they get into this situation? What did the doctor discover after Lori's ultrasound session? Watch this video to know the truth behind the story. This charming couple, Lori and Michael, got married years back but decided not to have kids through the natural birth yet. They adopted twin girls, Nora and Dora, and they also had the cutest chihuahua named Sunny. Now they later decided to try natural birth after the twins turned 10. And when Lori finally got pregnant, the whole family was excited. Nora wanted a baby sister, while Dora wanted a brother. But the most interested member of the family was Sunny. Her dog instinct could tell that Lori had changed and that there were life within her swelling stomach. She took extra interest in Lori, walking behind her everywhere including the kitchen, sitting room, and bedroom. She also sat closely while Lori took naps and was most times seen sniffing and hugging Lori's stomach. They thought it was normal at first, as dogs are sometimes quite protective of pregnant women. But her curious stares at Lori's stomach got quite amusing and suspicious at the same time. Lori got worried and explained to Mike that Sunny may have noticed something wasn't right with the pregnancy. Although he thought otherwise, she kept insisting, so they had to go for a checkup and ultrasound session. Michael was also a doctor but not a gynecologist. He was a pharmacologist, involved in investigating new drugs and medical procedures before they were launched. So, they visited the family's doctor, did some tests, and then the ultrasound session. And afterward related to the recent behavior of Sunny, but the doctor laughed it off and assured them that the baby is in the right position, as well as other factors concerning the pregnancy. She was advised to take Sunny to the vet, as she might be just overly anxious. Now, weeks after the doctor's visit, Sunny started whimpering whenever she sniffed or hugged Lori's belly. She didn't look happy, but the vet confirmed that Sunny was fine and healthy. This behavior of Sunny was followed by some changes in Lori's pregnancy. She started having back and waist pains. She turned in her sleep and couldn't stand properly as well. The doctor prescribed some drugs and also advised some light exercises, but the pain only grew worse. Lori started becoming really worried and sad as the days grew by. Even the kids couldn't cheer her up, and neither could Michael. What could be the reason behind Sunny's behavior and why the sudden pain? The painkillers didn't seem to work, and she was advised to reduce their intakes for the baby's protection. Michael suggested another hospital where a friend works. They were known for high standards technological facilities for various tests. When they arrived at the hospital, Michael's friend, who was also a doctor, assured them that the doctor in charge would run a thorough scan on Lori to see if there was any abnormality. Now Lori was frightened as to what they would find out, as she had a strong feeling that Sunny must have really sensed something. The couple held hands and hoped the baby was fine as they proceeded. Few minutes later, the doctor looked really surprised and disturbed as well. He excused himself quickly and asked to see Michael outside, while the nurses were attending to Lori. He called Michael aside and said, "I'm sorry, Michael. I had to call the cops here." He wouldn't explain to Michael expressly, even as Michael was getting impatient. Now the cops arrived and asked a series of questions after questions. They wanted to know Michael's line of medical practice and several other things. They also asked about the circumstances surrounding Lori's pregnancy. Michael refused to give further answers and demanded to know what the doctor saw in the ultrasound. He was later required to go with them and he went reluctantly. Now, the doctor decided not to disclose the reason behind the cup's involvement to Lori, even as she asked worriedly. He feared that it would increase her stress level as she was already in a disturbed state. When Michael arrived at the police station, the police explained to him the situation of things, and that was when Michael became scared, as it might mean that he wouldn't see his wife for a long time. "This is a huge mistake," he said as he held his hands over his head and was almost in tears. Michael was later released till further investigations, and when he got back to the hospital, he rushed through wards in search of Lori. He later met her laying down and looking exhausted. He knelt on her bedside and hugged her in between sobs. Now he related the whole event to her, and Sunny's suspicions finally made sense. After their previous checkups, Michael was allowed to administer some of the injections personally to Lori, as he was a professional and there was nothing to worry about. But sadly, he made a huge mistake. Apparently, the ultrasound session showed that Lori had been living with a chip inside of her, which was the cause of her constant backaches and waist pain. The chip was a prototype created by a group of scientists who were exploring new ways to monitor the health of a developing fetus. Michael was in charge of handling it alongside other pregnancy drugs that haven't been approved. And that was when he made the costly mistake, which Sonny has sniffed out ever since Lori's pregnancy grew. He mistakenly switched the drugs with that of Lori's. The doctor assured that the chip would not affect the baby and mother, but they could still perform a surgery to remove it if they wanted to. He gave Lori some injections to seize any effect of the chip and proceeded to discharge them. It took days before Lori got over the shock and forgave her husband, and she trusted that it's all a mistake. They were mostly happy to know that their baby was safe and that Sonny was their fluffy white guardian angel. They showered her with treats, cuddles, and pats, and he decided to never doubt her instincts again. What do you think about this situation? Have you been or witnessed something similar? Share with us below in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to see more incredible happenings around the world.